Hi everyone, welcome back to Strategica channel. My name is Lerato Skansi, the founder of Strategica. Today I'll be talking everything about credit cards. What is it that you need to know about them, and I'll also be weaving in my personal experience with them. So if you're actually considering taking out a credit card or need more information before you do so, stick around so that I can actually debunk some of the myths surrounding credit cards. If you're new to our channel, thank you for tuning in. Please remember to like and subscribe to our channel so that you get notified of future episodes that we'll be posting up. And if you're a returning subscriber, thanks again for your support. So where do we start with credit cards? So basically I'll just try to explain what a credit card is so that people can get to know what they are. So when it comes to a credit card is basically a pre-approved loan or debt. So what happens is a person normally goes to the bank, you'll get assessed, and then after you've been assessed, you get what you call a credit limit that will be attached to your card. So the credit limit is the amount that you've been pre-approved for. So the credit card you can actually use for purchases, you can use it for online shopping and other online payments that you might need to process. You can also use it to actually withdraw and access the money that has been assigned to you. I will dive straight into my personal experience. So when it comes to credit cards, I think my first encounter with a credit card, I think it was back in 2014. I had started my first job and I was working in Cape Town. So if most of you don't know, probably I never shared this. So in terms of my educational background, I studied actuarial science, and then after that I went to work in Cape Town. I was working for an asset management company in Cape Town. So when I was done with my with my schooling in varsity, what happens is that if you studied actual science, you actually have to start writing your boards. So it was that time I was fresh out of varsity, just started my first job, and the biggest thing that I wanted to do was just to qualify. So as I was trying to do that, I think around the time a board cost around 3,000. So you get the study material and then you start studying and then you write the exams. So what was a challenge then was I'm not sure if most of you know that the living expenses in Cape Town are quite high. So with the salary then, which was around 12,000 after deductions, with a rent which was around between 4 and 5,000, with groceries, transport, and everything else, I wasn't left with much at the end of the month. So one evening, I think it was a Friday, I was on my laptop and trying to log off work, and they came up. I don't know what I was doing on the bank's website, but something came up and they said, do you want to apply for a credit card? I clicked yes. I didn't even take more than 5 minutes to complete the questions, and after that I submitted my application and went home. The next week I got a call from the consultant from the bank saying I had been approved, and from which branch I'd actually want to collect my credit card. So my pre-approval, I think at the time, was around 12,000 rand. I think it was around 12,000 rand. So the first thing I did, I paid for 2 board exams at the time. So 12,000 was within just me registering what was gone. So it means, one, I had maxed out my limit, and now at the following month I was due to pay my credit card. So then came the vicious cycle, and everything just started going south. Because I didn't know how to use a credit card. I didn't know some of the tricks that I needed to know in order to actually use this card. So for me, all I was doing every single month, I was just paying my minimum payment. And paying your minimum payment is the worst thing that you can do for yourself, because there's always interest that accumulates on the other end, and the balance never seems to go down on the credit card. So for me, I think it was a good 2 years whereby I was paying the credit card the minute I had paid it. Whenever there was a positive balance, I would quickly go to the ATM and withdraw the money, use the money the next month, do the same thing. So at the end of the day, it was a good 2 years where I was actually making monthly payments, but those monthly payments never went towards paying the debt and reducing the debt. So one day I decided, you know what, I need to get out of this and not continue this vicious cycle. And then what I did was to actually get a personal loan, pay off the debt, and then dealt with the personal loan, because it was easier for me to do it like that. And then after that, I took the card and I cut it in half, and even today I still don't own a credit card. So before we dive into the advantages of actually owning a credit card, please remember to like and subscribe so that you'd be notified of any future content that we'll be posting. Would also like to get the conversation going online, so please leave your comments and questions in the comment section down below. So credit cards, like I had said, they are pre-approved credit, or we could just put it in simple terms, a loan. So what does it mean? If you have a credit card, you have money that is sitting there and money that you have access to, and this money can be used either for purchases, couple if you're buying online, it can be used for online payments. You can swipe at the store if you actually have to pay for something, and you can also withdraw the physical money from an ATM machine. So the thing with credit cards is they're pretty easy to apply for. So this is an advantage if ever you are in quick need of cash, or if you know sometimes that you have emergencies and you might need cash in the future. So it's quite easy to apply for a credit card because it's a card just like in any other debit card. You carry less cash around you, so it means it's safer to use plastic money than to actually be carrying around physical money with you wherever you go. It can also improve your credit score, and when it comes to improving your credit score, the main thing is that it will only improve your credit score if you're actually processing your payments on time and making sure that there is actually enough money that you're putting towards the payment of the credit card, so that the balance on it actually goes down. So with that said, I think it's always nice to consider where from what perspective you're actually considering using or taking a credit card out for. The other advantages could be, like I had said, if you know that you're going to need money, using it as a source of funds for emergency funds. So this means that if you have an emergency, let's say for instance my tire were to burst today, I'll go quickly to buy a new tire, and I know if I pay an amount back within 45 days, I would actually be paying it back interest free back to the bank. So that is one thing that you can also look into, because if ever you make payments with the amount of credit that has been used within a 45-day cycle, well, it might differ from banks, between banks I mean, but if that happens, then you actually pay back the money without any interest. So that could also be a good way of using a credit card as a source of emergency funds. You can also use it as a budgeting tool as well. So stick around for more videos where we'll be sharing budgeting tools and to actually show you how you can use a credit card for budgeting. But I think the one thing that we need to know is that all these advantages work only if a person is very disciplined. You need to be disciplined, one, in paying back the minimum payments each month, and actually making extra payments towards your credit card each month, so that the debt actually goes down. Because like myself, if you are paying the minimum payment and the minute you've paid it back, you go back to the ATM to withdraw the funds, then you're basically not paying anything back, and all you're doing is just paying the minimum interest per month on the credit card, and the actual credit amount is not going down, and it will just be a going vicious cycle or wheel that will go on forever, and you'll forever be having to actually pay money towards your credit card. So when it comes to the disadvantages, like I said, for people who are not disciplined, this could probably be the worst thing that they can ever do, because one, if you're paying only the interest component, not the and not the balance or the principal amount that was actually pre-approved for your credit card. It means that you'll be forever paying this credit card, and you will find that the debt mounts on and on. And morally, of it feels very bad that you feel like you are making payments towards this debt, but it never seems to be going down. So to get that mountain down and get it out of the way, always make sure that you do the minimum payment and actually do extra payments towards that credit card. So it works if you are disciplined. If you're not disciplined, then it could be the worst purchase. And also make sure that the things that you are purchasing with your credit card, it's stuff that you actually need or stuff that you are going to use. Because some people tend to be shopaholics and tend to be buying stuff that they actually do not use or do not improve their lifestyle, and then you find that they are just making reckless purchases, and now the debt has mounted and they can't actually pay it back. With that said, I think that would be bringing us to the end of this video. I do hope that the next time that you're thinking of taking out a credit card, or if you already own one, think of ways that you can use to actually reduce your debt or reduce the monthly payments, so that it's actually a tool that works for you and your finances instead of being the monster that everyone makes it out to be. See you next time. Bye.